Welcome to Above Average Agents, where we spill the real estate tea, talk about all things of being an agent and in real estate. And we are here to drive the conversation forward about how to be more than your average agent. So I have with me Katie Lucie and Meghan Romanelli. Hey, guys.
Huh? Hi.
All right, I want to talk today about our favorite tools because we can get so bogged down in the day to day, but forget that there are tools and systems that we have in place that we even forget are there. And sometimes other agents maybe don't even know exist. So I want to talk about your favorite tools. And Katie, I know that you are the operations queen. So what are some of your favorite tools? Even though you don't have a CRM, which I find wild.
I do. I do have a CRM. I just don't like using it. No, my assistant handles the CRM. I don't even want to log into it. But no, yeah, that I use Lofty. But so my favorite tool right now is Mosaic IO. I mean, for transaction management mostly is what I'm using it for. It's just like a client nurture platform, but it also has a search function and a transactional management kind of platform. And it has workflows that I can design to exactly what I want for my transactions. And it keeps me accountable because, when you have a lot of deals going, things fall through the cracks. And then I can assign stuff to my admin, or if it's another agent, I can kind of check in on somebody on my team to make sure they're following through with what they're supposed to be doing. And it just kind of keeps a track record of everything.
Got it. Okay. Oh, we lost Meghan for a minute, but what is the biggest, what is the biggest feature of Mosaic that you like?
For me right now, it's the transaction management. So the workflows and the transaction management is so specific to the way that I operate my business for sellers and for buyers. So even if it's something like that's only specific to that property, I have it come in my workflow for, like, let's say I'm gonna have a neighborhood only open house. Like, it'll prompt me to say, like, did you schedule this, and this for that? And then it also has all the basic compliance and basic transactional duties, but it incorporates everything that I do for a seller. Even like the niceties and like kind of like the things I do to try to have a great client experience.
Okay, so you had to put those checklists in there?
Yes.
Okay.
Correct. So I'm sure they'll give you like a basic workflow if you just need like a transaction management, but you want to make it incorporated into your business. So you want to have everything that you do, and then it's gonna be different for if you have a TC or you don't have a TC, or based on what kind of client experience you're going for. It has a lot more than, I can add a lot more than just the transaction management stuff. So I like it.
Okay.
And then it also makes sure that my processes and systems are repeatable for anyone on my team, because I can just assign them that workflow. And then if it pops up and they say like, oh, like text the client to make sure that they know the next steps, like I don't need to do that. It's not required for a transaction, but they're probably sitting there worried about what's next. And everyone complains that communications are our problem and what we don't do right. And so it's ensuring that they're going to communicate the way that I would communicate.
Perfect. So it has your checklist that you streamlined for your own business. So it's customizable. And that's, you said mosaic.io, right?
Correct.
Got it. So you think that that's worth having in addition to, let's say, your broker's compliance software?
So, okay. So yes, totally. So I started at a small independent, and we didn't really have a transaction management workflow. So I kind of started with nothing. And then when I moved over to Real, they have a pretty good back end compliance platform. It's just uploading, which is pretty easy. They make it pretty easy, which is great. But like, it's just the compliance. So you could still miss a lot of the nurture and a lot of the things that will actually make your client feel like taken good care of, because I mean, they don't care. It's just compliance. So this makes the experience better for everyone. It makes the lenders like me better too, because I'm like trying to work with, like, check in on things, make sure that my clients have stuff. Title is happier with me because I'm on top of it. And even the other agent. So like, you guys know, we don't always have another competent agent working the other side of the deal. So it's like, we have to check in on everything. And this makes it a lot easier.
Okay. I love it. So I did try mosaic.io, and it's interesting because I didn't love it as much as you loved it. And maybe it was just because I just didn't use it. So I dropped it because there's so many systems, so many tools, another thing to sign it up for, pay for, sign into. I'm like, holy cow, I have like 55 things for my tech stack. Like, is this realistic? So
Yeah.
I wish more platforms did more than one thing, because there's so many like one thing platforms that just make it a little bit difficult. But I decided to not go forward with Mosaic IO. So I tried it and it just like wasn't for me and my business, because I hired it.
There's definitely a learning curve to it,
Yeah.
for sure.
Meg, what is your favorite tool?
Gosh, so Compass has a proprietary tool and it's Compass Collections, and it is really cool. I hate Compass because they don't play well with others. So it doesn't integrate with anything, which kind of sucks because my CRM is Follow Up Boss and I'm a huge fan, love it. It's great, keeps me organized. But what's really neat about Collections is it's like setting your client up on a search, but also like an Instagram page. It's just so sexy and so interactive. And the clients that get it, get it. And like I put them on this search and they just like, not interested, comment a question and request a showing. And it almost, like, not to sound lazy, but like it takes my job out of it. Like I don't even have to work that much. The people that want, some people don't use it and that's fine. But like some clients, like my younger generation, like our age and whatnot, they like get in there, they clean it up, they say like these four Friday at 1, boom. And I'm just like, got it. And it's a really, really neat way to just share listings with clients and get feedback and not have to do so much like follow up on your end. So that's like a really cool tool. But I will say, like most things, it definitely has its like downsides. It doesn't integrate with anything. So it's not like Follow Up Boss is telling me that they opened this or like this or want to see this. So there's a little bit of like management that's not great, but I will say that's like my favorite tool. And I'm the opposite of Katie Lucie. I am not a systems girly, so I don't have a lot of tech or a lot of systems. I just got YLOPO integrated to my Follow Up Boss, which I think Tiana will be able to speak to. But I've been using it for less than 24 hours. So stay tuned for how I'm able to create systems and use that and get away from collections.
Oh, less than 24 hours? Like it just launched?
I just went live yesterday.
Oh.
And they're texting people. It's amazing. It's really cool, but I don't know how to use it yet.
Whatever. It's driving the conversations.
It's pulled 2 leads out of thin air, like people I didn't even know would talk to me. It just saw that they were hand raisers and it turned into great calls. So it's exciting.
That's amazing. That's the amazing part about AI is it does the things that, not that we're afraid to do, but we're like, oh, we don't want to bother them, or we haven't talked to them in 3 years, so why text them now, kind of a thing. I know that goes through a lot of agents' heads. So the AI is great. It just texts. And if they don't want, and if the client doesn't want it or the person doesn't want it, they just text back stop, and then we won't text them again, right? So it's like, it's that easy. If you want help, yes, great. If you don't, hit stop and it moves on.
Yeah. That's really cool.
And I, having been with Compass, love and miss the what was it called? The collection
Tours
and the tours. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
It just makes it so easy to send the summary of showings to the client. I really did miss that. I do miss that from Compass. And
it's
I think
very attractive.
Part of why I signed up for Mosaic, because I think Mosaic offers something similar.
It does.
Mm-hmm. And I love
the same thing with like your Instagram kind of vibe. There's like a platform where they can just like things and comment, and I can tag, like I could be like, highlight it and tell them to look at it. It sends them an email. It is very good. I am newer to the search function of clients because I don't love running searches, so Lori does a lot of that, but it's really good. And I can also like tweak the searches to be like, okay, they want an updated kitchen, they want a pool, but like just look for something that has a room for a pool or something in it. And it uses AI to kind of be like, this isn't what you said you wanted, but like, look, it's 65% what you said you wanted, and you could just put a pool in, and it's 80 grand under budget, so you could pay for it, you know?
Right.
Yeah.
And like, I really think when someone is trying to determine like what are the best tools for them, they really have to sit down and think like, how do I operate and what's missing to make my life easier? Because some people
100%
are more operations oriented than others, and some people like easy to use tools versus more difficult ones. So it just really depends, like what your needs are and things like that. And
will you use it? Like I avoided getting YLOPO for such a long time, or a website and for that. But that's how I built my business. So like in a time now when I'm a little bit slower, like that's how I scaled my entire business, was attacking leads that were looking at homes online and converting them into buyers. So I'm like, why am I not going back to that? Like I got away from it because they thought I was repeat and referral, but I want both. I'm bringing that lead pillar back because that's what I like.
Right.
It works.
For sure.
And speaking of YLOPO, that is definitely one of my favorite tools. And I don't know, I'm like, if I ever stopped doing it, I don't know. I just could never think of not doing it. So YLOPO is a platform that you can use that integrates with your CRM and your website to allow you to pay for attracting leads, like if you want to buy online leads, and it remarkets and retargets. So it can retarget everybody in your database based on their email. If they have a Facebook email and it's what's in your database, they'll retarget them with retargeted ads. They get seller reports. There's a whole bunch of tools that that platform offers. It is not cheap at all. It's not. But I prefer not to have to go into every single client and say, did you find what you were looking for? Did you find what you were looking for? Because how else are you going to stay up to date with, 10 buyers of what they're looking for? I use YLOPO. I can see everything they see. I can see how many times they looked at a property. I get notifications. So I can easily go to that client and say, hey, I saw you looked at this a few times. Did you want to go look at it this weekend or this week or whatever? And it just makes my life so easy. I can text them. The AI texts them. The AI does a lot of the heavy lifting and kind of like serves me the leads. So it just does so much. I think it's worth every freaking dollar.
I hope so.
It really is amazing. I can't imagine, like if you close one deal from that, it's so worth it. Like last year, I made a 400% return. I spent $25K on it and I made 100. So it, for me, was well worth it. And I definitely, because I'm scaling my team and putting teams in place, I definitely lost business that I could have had I had more team members or more time to service everyone, because I'm buying leads. I know, Meg, I don't think you are, but I'm buying leads. So like, I just can't get to everybody.
Right.
So those are my favorite tools. Anything else that you guys like? Like what's a tool that's kind of cheap that you like?
I love listing leads. So it's Jimmy Fallon and Tom Ferry's
Jimmy
marketing.
Yeah, I was like, Jimmy Fallon? I was like, I knew that wasn't right, but
oh, that was good.
All right. Jimmy Mackin, obviously. Yeah. Anyways, he has very good creative marketing. And it's not like, I don't know, it's different. It's creative. It's not like pushy. It's not like basic salesy, but it does have like really strong call to actions. And it's easy. So you just like log in and they have loads of email templates and like direct mailers. I used to like love designing and curating direct mail, but now I'm like, I just copy paste. It's awesome. So that is my favorite. And it is very affordable. And it has essentially everything you need for marketing.
It is very affordable. Like the emails, again, everything that you can just copy and paste makes it so easy. I use it for especially like going after properties that buyers are looking in a neighborhood for. I'm forgetting the name of what we call that, but
I have a buyer letter.
A buyer letter.
Yeah. Circle prospecting.
Yeah. Just sold.
For scripts.
Information to the all that.
I just canceled my subscription.
Oh, you did? How come?
I love how this business, we can all be successful and all do everything so differently. Even though it's reasonably priced, I think, what is it, $65 a month, like very reasonable. I wasn't using it. Like I just would go 2 or 3 months and not log in. So I almost wish there was like a different, like I hate subscriptions. I'm just like not the type, I'm not like, I pay attention to like what is getting charged every month, and I cancel, and then I'll probably rejoin in 2 months when I need to do, and I have a buyer letter. But I just feel like with ChatGPT, I get good enough buyer letter ideas and email ideas, but I never thought to use it for direct mail, Katie. That would be good.
Oh, it's the best.
That's like,
that's one of the
strength.
the text that I was leaning on a lot was Core Fact, but I felt like their templates have really slipped. Like they're very just
Totally.
listed,
They're boring.
sold.
Right.
They're not sexy. And with people like Katie and people like Listing Leads doing really neat marketing trends, like a just listed is wasting money these days.
It is 100%. So but you have to use it. So like I time blocked into my calendar, literally like 30 minutes a week to go into Listing Leads and just like get some creative ideas. The same thing with Coffee and Contracts, because I felt that way about Coffee and Contracts. I don't use it. I never log on because I did it for the team. But I get so many good ideas when I just go in there and I just like dig through it for like 30 minutes, 20 minutes, whatever.
Yeah.
And
she gives you great ideas in her email though.
She does.
Because I'm subscribed.
They're so easy. They're
email.
so easy right there in Canva. And if I just like have a few ideas, because I'll usually like tweak it. Like, let's say she has like, you know, like 3 things to do in your town this weekend or whatever. I can change it to either like market tips or insights, or like she has it like coffee or whatever. And it is, it's just clean. It's very clear for the consumer to read, and it's just good to look at. So I force myself to log in and actually get creative. And if you do that with Listing Leads, you can crush for real.
I like it.
I'll have to get back.
Mine is an underrated one, and it is the additional reports in showing time. I think it's like $20 a month. And I know it sounds so stupid, but I use it a lot in my listing appointments to show clients, because it tracks how many appointments by price point in certain areas and whatever. It uses all the showing time data to give you information for your listing appointments for your sellers. If you're talking about the listing or if you're talking about getting a price reduction of some sort, it definitely helps you back up with the data.
You have to show me how to do that offline because I'm paying and I can't figure it out.
So, and I actually have on my to-do list to ask you about that too, because like at listing appointments, when you're going over pricing and showing like the showing time data for other comparables, I would love to learn how to do that better too, to kind of like, because I told you guys that I'm like trying to plan the trends and like show that price drops are increasing and the trend of days on market are going up and the trend of inventory is shifting. I'm trying to show that like month over month, just in the last like 10 months.
But you can also get those exact reports from RPR.
I know, but they're not, you can, but they're year over year. They're not month over month. So I can't see a trend line.
But you could make that in Canva and like make it pretty.
Right. And that's exactly what I'm trying to do.
Okay.
So that's exactly what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna use RPR's data for like days on market and a couple other things.
There's also SunStats. SunStats does that too.
Okay, I'm gonna look into that because I don't know if I'm gonna use
take
that
these
one.
MLS classes, guys.
Yeah,
I do.
SunStats.
I really do.
MLS classes. It's like a waste of time. Everyone's like, it's a waste of time, but you get like, you know where to get stuff quickly.
Right.
I've never taken a single one, so
I'm a dork.
Call me a bad realtor. I just signed up for a contracts class, so that'll be another lesson.
You know the contracts.
Yeah.
You're not a bad realtor. It's just these things will make your life easier, make you
way easier,
your job easier. So, because you can get all this information, you know, if somebody asked you something, you could go get it wherever. But
correct. But it'll take 10 minutes versus 30 seconds.
Yeah.
I have used SunStats. I liked it. Don't know what RPR is.
I use RPR all the time.
Might have to have a class with both of you.
I use RPR all the time.
Oh my gosh.
You don't know what RPR is? That's so funny.
I know there's a button for it in the MLS.
It's like a nationwide MLS. So like if you wanted to buy a property in like Colorado, you could go look at all the properties in Colorado on the MLS. I mean, I guess you could do that on Zillow too. But.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Interesting.
Yeah, it just gives you more information than Zillow because you're a realtor. So I'm working with a client now who's from Wisconsin, and he uses RPR because he's an agent in Wisconsin, and he uses RPR to find properties here, even though I sent him stuff, but he likes it better.
Wow.
So anyway.
That's very neat.
Did you give us your quick tool, Meg?
Underrated tool, did I?
Cheap one.
I don't believe so. Oh, ChatGPT.
Ooh, yeah. The paid for version, yes.
The paid for version, man. It is incredible. The things I do, I take pictures of AC units to find the age. If you're not doing that, what are you doing? You can ask it for permit records. Sometimes it'll be able to find a roof age and search the permit records for the county. I will use it for, oh my God, they did the coolest thing today. I texted a bunch of agents for reverse prospecting, but I couldn't export the reverse prospecting list straight from the MLS. So I printed it, save as a PDF, put it in ChatGPT, asked it to put it in a CSV. Then I was able to import it into my bulk texting platform, and I was able to text 81 agents and invite them to my open
You
house
are
in
so
30 seconds.
That's
fancy.
amazing.
I love that.
Yeah,
That's so smart.
that was cool. Yeah, if you don't know, Lead Engage is pretty good for bulk texting. So that's just a cool tech. Pretty cheap too. So yeah, ChatGPT though, it's the best.
Yeah, love it.
For sure.
All right, ladies, thanks for sharing all of your helpful tips. Until next time on Above Average Agents, we'll see you later.
Bye.
Oops, stay in studio. Hold on, I'll end session.